Hello, it's Jennifer Harding Marlin. Today's video is going to talk about tips and tricks for building your business abroad. So about 7 years ago, I started on an entrepreneurial journey where I built a business abroad. So I've done separate videos on how I became a lawyer in the Caribbean and a little bit more about my business. Basically, I'm super passionate about personal freedom and helping people achieve their dreams. And this is exactly what we do at JH Marlin, where we help people move abroad, relocate, do citizenship by investment and residency by investment, and create Plan B backup options. So one of the things that I think you should consider when building your business abroad is really ensuring that you do proper market research. So understanding the local market, the regulatory environment, and really understanding your competition is really important. This can apply for whatever your business is, and really having a flexible and adaptable mindset to be able to change and pivot on a moment's notice is something that's really important. So another thing that I think is important is having a business plan, which I know may come as a shock. You don't need a business plan to start a business, and there's a lot of YouTubers and individuals that will tell you you absolutely don't need a written business plan to start a business. I think it's something that's really practical when you build your business abroad, particularly as oftentimes banks or if you need a license or have to go through a regulatory body, they will request a business plan, and often it can be easier if you have a business plan, a written business plan from the beginning, something that you can refer to and change if needed, and it can also serve as a guide and be helpful to you. Another thing that I think you should consider when building a business abroad is understanding the legal and regulatory environment. You know, something that can be legal in one country is illegal in another country. And so really adhering to the law is something that's very important. Do you need a license to be able to do what you want to do? Do you have tax filings or monthly filings or some sort of different obligation that you would have? And so making sure that you adhere to the law is really important, and also maintaining a really strong reputation is something that is very important. Another important consideration that I think you should have, and I think you should consider, is having cultural understanding. There are different ways of doing business depending on what country you're located in, and just the way of talking to people and interacting with people can be completely different. In some countries, for example, you can't be direct when you speak to someone. You can't demand or ask in a direct manner. If not, something won't get done. And so this is something that I've experienced in certain countries that I do business in. Really making sure that if you're doing business locally, that people feel understood, feel listened to, and feel respected, and that you have an understanding of the way business is done in the particular country that you want to do business in. Then another thing you may want to consider is partnerships. So depending on the type of business you have, you may want to have local expertise. You also may want to by having local expertise, what can help you accelerate faster, be introduced to other people, as well as increase your network. And really having someone that you can rely on through partnerships, depending on the type of business you have, may be something you may want to consider when starting your business or having a business abroad. So another thing to consider is funding. A lot of the times, if you're outside of US or Canada, you may not have access to funding as easily. It can be tricky. So, finding means of financial support if you need it, depending on your business and depending where you're located, can be something that can be challenging. There could be currency fluctuations, taxation, or other financial obligations, depending on the country where you're located. So I think the biggest thing that you need to consider, depending on what type of business you have, is supply chain. So shipping, logistics, customs, anything revolving around the supply chain is something that really needs to be delicately managed. There can be delays, there can be disruptions, and really having a plan in case there's a breakdown in the supply chain, what you're going to do, I think is something really important to consider when you build your business abroad. And then marketing, depending on if you're marketing locally, if you're doing a business locally, or if you're doing business outside of the country where you're located, the marketing will be a lot different. In some countries, believe it or not, radio, television, newspaper are really effective ways to do marketing. And then some other countries, and to get some other target audiences, marketing via online channels is something that you may want to, that may be better, and or you're able to get clients in this manner. And then another thing to consider is talent and hiring. Different countries have different standards. An engineer standard for one country is not the same as the engineer standard for another country. And same goes with lawyers, and same goes with different other expertise. So are you going to be hiring locally, or are you going to be hiring internationally? Does the person need a work permit? Does the person need a visa to come to the country? Understanding the local labor laws is something that is important and that you'll need to consider when building a business abroad. Another thing to consider when building a business abroad is risk management. Are you located in an area that's like the Caribbean, for example? It's subject to potential flooding, hurricanes, wildfires, as well, if you have an online business, do you have security measures in place? What are the local laws for protection of data privacy and the privacy laws? Do you have proper measures in place? Is there political and economic stability in the country where you are based? Could this impact your business? How are you going to manage and evaluate risks and take proper measures to minimize risk? So these are things to consider when building a business abroad. And then there's the technology and infrastructure. Does the country where you're located have the necessary infrastructure? Do you need to go out and build the infrastructure? What is that going to look like? What are the costs? As well as, how are you going to be able to leverage technology for your business abroad? Internet connectivity. We have, do have a lot of clients that have online businesses. Is the internet connectivity good where you are if you're somewhere extremely remote? So these are factors to consider. And then education and learning is, everyone will probably cite this as a really important factor. Constantly learning more about your market and your industry, acquiring new skills that you can implement in your business and expand your business, and really stay sharp and on top of the game is really important. Like some countries, for example, like Cayman Islands, they have networking opportunities and opportunities for you to develop personalized skills such as coding and learn new skills, or learn a new language, or learn something new that you can bring back to your business and make your business even better and a better experience for clients, and be able to offer more services and better services. So obviously I didn't talk about all the factors to consider. These are just some of the factors to consider while building a business abroad. I think another important thing is really just having a support network of friends or family or people that you can talk to. If you're experiencing difficulty or you need someone to talk to, it can be really important. So this is a little bit about factors to consider. If you'd like more information about citizenship by investment or residency by investment, we're happy to help. We've helped numerous clients for many, many years, and we look forward to continuing helping people in the future. All the best. Bye for now.